It's been a while. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Rain. I have a fashion design degree and I like to make pretty sparkly dresses for fun because I can. So I put a poll on my Instagram story asking if you all would like me to make a long form YouTube video out of this rather than just my short videos, and the overwhelming majority said yes. This video's project is an inspiration from Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is a fantasy romance series that I fell in love with, as many people did. I decided after listening to the 3 audiobooks that I wanted to make a dress inspired by Feyre and the Night Court. Okay, that was the introduction. Was that sufficient? Because let's jump right in. There'll be spoilers, by the way. So my overall attitude in life is to just wing it, and that's what I did here. I started off without a clear image in my head. I just knew that I wanted it to be like black and silver and nightcore-ish. Nightcore. Oh man, that brings back memories. Not all these fabrics that I picked out were used, but I usually like to get a general sense of what I can use. And there's a cat hair in front of my face. Okay, and this fabric, tell me that it doesn't scream Night Court. It also screams terror because of all the glitter it left everywhere, and I will continue to find for the rest of my life, but worth it. My default pattern that I often use for bodices and corsets is pattern 3363 from Simplicity. As you can see, I have used this pattern over and over again. Oh yeah, how can I forget to mention my most trusty helper during this project? Bart. Before going into a sewing project, you can never forget your fluffy friends because they will be a part of it whether you like it or not. So, cutting out fabric, pretty standard. You know that one scene where Reese and Feyre had an intense conversation over a can of soup? When will it be my turn? Do we even know what kind of soup that was? He's a 10, but he declares his love to you over a can of soup. When I was sewing this fabric, it was hard because there were so many beads and glitter on it that my machine was having difficulty and it started to skip stitches with this fabric. So I had to go over it 2 times, which was fun, and it was really slow, and that took a while. But I was able to try it all on afterwards on the dress form, and it looked really pretty. So 5. I always like to add a little bit of pizzazz on the seams if they look like they need it, and so I added gimp braid, but in the end it didn't really matter because I covered it with more pretty stuff. And then also the lighting got a little bit wacky here, but I'm gonna blame it on the cereal, so why'd you do that, cereal? So to create the boning channels, I sew down the seams, and I then measure out the length that I'll need for the flat steel and spiral steel boning, and yeah, it goes inside. Along with the boning, I like to add a padding, a bra cup, just to make sure the girls are whoop. When I make a corset or a bodice or corseted bodice or anything that you think this should be called, I like to call it a corset sandwich, if that makes any sense. So there's 3 layers. There's 3. And then I add 1 more piece of boning to the edges where the grommets are gonna go, so it's super stable. And because I had a teacher in fashion design school who got angry at me for not doing that, so it's been ingrained in my head forever. I have nothing clever to say here, so I'm just gonna resort to this. It takes a while to film these voiceovers, so I'm just gonna... There isn't a lot of footage of me making the sleeves because it was a trial and error. I messed up on it so many times. It kind of turned out like a glove. I wish I had filmed more, but here we are. Also, there's another cat here. I recently got Rain Emery original tags, and I feel so official. So to make it look more fantasy night courty detailed, I chose this applique that would fit the bill. And then I also took these little appliques from the fabric that I got from the LA Fashion District. Oh yeah, so this was a part where I really didn't know what I was doing. And maybe if I didn't say that, none of you would pick up on it, but here I'm being transparent. This footage brings me back to the night before. I started placing things like trims and applique down to see if I liked the way that they looked or if I wanted to change it. Everyone says trust the process, but in my case, I need to trust my stubbornness because when I set a deadline, I'm too stubborn to back out on it. As I like to say, anything takes a minute when put to last minute. I really put that to the test here, and I think my sleep schedule would have to agree. And yeah, after getting about 3 hours of sleep, I woke up and then I went to do the photo shoot with my friend Frosted Fox Photography.
Yeah.
Say hi! You're looking everywhere but the camera. This is payback.